Morning, everybody. Welcome to the early morning Keeping It Real show. I'm your host, Keeping It Real, and this is my reality check. Today's reality check is going to be about drones, Skynet, and a company called Boston Dynamics. I suggest you Google all three of those, and here's what you'll come up with. Boston Dynamics is a company that's funded through DARPA. DARPA is a defense-funded organization that is being funded by the Department of Defense to create robots that think on their own, that can supplement the military. Pack mules, like what was the name of Alpha Dog? Alpha Dog is basically a robotic dog that's specifically designed to carry munitions and the packs that soldiers would typically carry. After the creation of Alpha Dog, they designed the Cheetah. Now the Cheetah is the same thing as Alpha Dog, but this one can run 28 miles an hour. They've also got these Alpha Dogs so they can track and hunt down targets, human targets, and that should be interesting to all of us. You got a robot, basically a four-legged dog that can run 28 miles an hour and track humans. You put some armaments on this Alpha Dog and the Cheetah, and this becomes a very scary scenario. Now, of course, they say they're not thinking about arming them yet, but they will. We're talking about DARPA. Okay. They also got a bunch of other things, like Sandflea is another Boston Dynamic creation. This is a small, foot by 8-inch robot that has wheels and basically a spring-loaded mechanism that allows it to jump 2 stories. With attached to camera, you can attach anything to it, knockout gas, guns, whatever, and have it creep quite silently. There's videos of it. Jump up to a 2-story rooftop, zoom down a air shaft, and get you that way. There's also these. Petman. Petman is this is a scary one. This is as close to Terminator as we got right now. It's called Petman. Now, if you Google the video right now, it's basically a headless robot that can run, can do push-ups, and that kind of stuff. Now, it's not perfect yet, but the way technology advances, 6 months from now, it could have a head and move now and think on its own. And that's really scary. So I've covered the Cheetah, the Sandflea, Alpha Dog, and Petman. All created by Boston Dynamics to be robots that think on their own. There's also these quad rotors, aerial robotics, drones, are even scarier. There's a whole bunch of them out there. Just type in quad rotor ARs and Skynet, and you will see some pretty scary shit. I mean, even the designer of Skynet, and I can't remember his name, it's like a French name, said how incredibly dangerous this technology could be. And in the video that you're probably going to find when you type in Skynet and AR drones, you'll see him showing, 4 quad-rotor drones that fly silently, all holding a big net in the air. And he throws a ball into the air, and these drones move to catch it. Now, what makes it even more interesting is that on their own, because they're told to do this, but after this, on their own, they throw the ball up in the air by moving away from each other. The ball goes up in the air, and then they move to catch it, and they keep doing it. And this is all on their own. The artificial intelligence behind that is, in his words, incredibly dangerous. Now, they also got AR drones that are designed with an eagle claw, that are designed to fly down and scoop up objects or people. People! They're even saying could pick up people. Now listen, folks. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting. Now, if you Google Skynet, you're going to get 2 things. You're going to get Skynet that was created by this one French name guy. I can't remember his thing. I watched the videos last night. But the designer, you're going to get him doing a demonstration on AR drones, and then you're going to get, obviously, the movie Terminator, which Skynet was this basically like an internet that was designed for all the military robots to communicate to each other. Now, if you remember the movie Terminator, all the robots and the machines got too intelligent and decided to turn against man and wage war. Now, it sounds kind of too futuristic, but listen, folks, it's here now. They're designing it now. The Homeland Security is already thinking about getting contracts for some of these robots. So when you get a robot that's designed to hunt you down, kill you, and think on their own, and target and pick its own targets, friendly or foe, it's not a good thing, guys. I know you're thinking that this is too sci-fi for me. Well, guess what? It's very real. Matter of fact, I read this morning that the Marines are wanting to have lasers on their Humvees and their tanks that are able to shoot down these drones. So this is far from some science fiction, story, guys. This is very, very real stuff. And the fact that they're thinking about making it so these things can think on their own and hunt on their own is even scarier. No more 20-year-old, 19-year-old student on there with a joystick guiding these things around. They're just told to pick out targets. Let's say they have guns. They can just shoot them down on their own. That's a scary, scary thing. So that's the big one today, guys. Skynet. Skynet, Boston Dynamics, Petman, Alpha Dog, Sand Fleas, quad rotor AR, drones, and that's enough for you to keep you interested, because there's more and more videos of these drones and robots coming up every day. So the technology is advancing far faster than we can keep up with to tell you about it. So Google it, guys. Google those terms. That's the best thing I can tell you. Now, the other thing I want to talk about today is Monsanto. Monsanto is basically the creators of Roundup pesticide. Roundup pesticide. They make pesticide, things that help your garden stay safe from insects. So, hold on. A little early in the morning, that's my third sip of coffee. But Monsanto, which was probably made with genetically modified coffee beans. But anyways, Monsanto was the designer of Roundup pesticide, and they wanted to create a way to keep, corn from being attacked from vermin, insects, to keep a safe crop. So they genetically modified it with, certain animals and insects and other chemicals, to keep insects from touching it, to make them safe so their corn crops can go. And over the last 10 years, farmers have been kind of without, saying, okay, I'll grow some Monsanto seeds. They're basically forced to grow Monsanto genetically modified seeds. Now, some of the scariest things about Monsanto, remember, it created Roundup pesticide, and they started genetically incorporating Roundup pesticide into some of these seeds. And it's not just some guys. I stand to correct myself. It's 70% of our grown food sources that are GMOs nowadays. But that makes me want to think back to not too long ago, I think it was last year, where they had a story of a bunch of cows in Texas that were eating genetically modified grass. The farmer lets his cows out, quite a bit of them, and lets his farm animals, his cows out to eat, to graze in the pasture. And he starts hearing them bellowing. He goes out there, and they're dying. They're falling down flat dead right in front of him. When it turns out that when they tested the grass, that it was genetically modified, and because of the genetic manipulation, and they really have no idea what manipulating these genes will do in the long run, the grass started to produce cyanide gas. Lovely, isn't it? Now, it's even scarier, considering that the French did a 2-year test on genetically modified food, and their results were even scarier. Now, I also want to interject here that most of the GMO testing that goes on is only done for like 6 months' time, where Monsanto and other companies that are funded by Monsanto to do tests say that nothing happened to the rats. They're healthy, they're doing everything. Well, this French company did a 2-year study, and guess what? They released their report publicly, and these rats came up with giant tumors, man, and they were dying, and they were sterile, This is like after a year of eating genetically modified stuff, and we're doing it now, folks. We're eating 70% of our food is genetically modified. So you wonder where we're getting crazy ailments and Alzheimer's disease, and women that are growing fingernails for hair, and it's absolutely insane. And the thing that makes it even worse, guys, is that President Obama just signed yesterday a bill that was written by Monsanto into law, stating that Monsanto cannot face any criminal persecutions at all. And for anything it does. So basically giving Monsanto, the creators of Roundup and Frankenfood, the ability to experiment on the world population, because it's not just American food, people. GMO food is everywhere. And that's a really bad thing, folks. And they, kind of playing it off as innocent and trying to fix the food source, problems for the world. But, I've been doing this for 30 years. It's more like population control to me, It's soft kill weaponry, which is what Monsanto was basically allowed to use on the American and the world public without any kind of, federal prosecution. No investigations can be done on Monsanto for making this Frankenfood if it starts fucking us all up. And I believe it already is, man. There's some weird shit going on to people. Mutations going on. So, that's my reality check for today. I'm 11 minutes into this, and, there are a lot of things that you guys need to wake up to, stop watching them fucking reality shows and start digging in, gain some fucking knowledge. I don't mean to be cussing, but it helps emphasize my point, if you get my drift. So, do some Googling, guys. And this is not crazy sci-fi shit. This is real world shit happening in our world today. So, Skynet, Alpha Dog, Sand Flea, Pet Man, AR drones, and Monsanto. And it's not going to take you long to find any of the negative stuff on this stuff. I mean, if you're not stupid, if you're not fucking retarded or doped up on fucking fluoride and other chemicals that they put in all our shit, you should be able to put one and one together to make two. And that's what it's a very important thing that all of us need to be able to do is add. Can we add one and one, make two? Cyanide, grass-producing cyanide, that's 1 plus 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2, and 2 is death. So... Google it, guys. Wake the fuck up. Because if you don't, the New World Order is going to roll right over us. And they're going to use every bit of technology they can to knock us off the earth. So, this is Mike Shawalik, keeping it real. And this is my reality check. Peace.